This is the Road Testament. J.F. Musial will discuss the 5 most important cars at the Geneva Auto Show. I, Alex Roy, will explain why 3 of them really don't matter.
No, they all matter.
We'll talk about why the Toyota LFA is the biggest mistake in the company's history.
One of many mistakes.
And why the Porsche 918 is the most important car to come out since the Vietnam War.
What?
That's right. On today's Road Testament.
Welcome to the most important week of the automotive industry of the past decade. This week, the Geneva Auto Show has actually dumbfounded me with the amount of cars that have come out, mostly on the hybrid side. Let's start off with the Porsche 918 Spider.
The most important car of the show.
GT3 R Hybrid, the racer.
Kind of cool, but not as important.
Okay. Lotus Evora 414.
Don't care.
Ferrari 599 Hybrid.
Nostradamus could have predicted that one.
The Peugeot SR1.
A car they should build but won't.
That's true. And, of course, the Audi A1 E-Tron.
Cool, but not because it's an e-tron.
Well, we got to look at what's going on right now. This is the first auto show that I've actually been excited about for the past 3.5 years.
I think it's the most important auto show since the Countach came out during the Vietnam War. Can you remember any other auto show since then? The Vector came out. Other than that, nobody knows.
Honestly, every auto show is a blur. This one is big. I'm upset I'm not there. There's a lot of incredible stuff happening right now.
Except that it's in Geneva,
and what's more incredible is that it's happening in a time in the economy that is unheard of.
It's also happening at a time that's the worst possible time for Toyota and the best possible time for everybody else.
Well, let's start off at the top. Everyone has a hybrid at the auto show, and if you're not, you're the lame kid in the hall.
Actually, there are a lot of guys who have hybrids who are lame because their hybrids were afterthoughts, but they're not afterthoughts for Ferrari, Porsche, or Audi.
That's a very good point. What about Peugeot and Lotus? Do you really think that?
For Lotus, it kind of doesn't matter. If you want a Lotus, it doesn't matter what power is it.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's go back.
And if you do care, you're buying a Tesla.
That's true. Let's look at Porsche, the 918.
Was that someone from Lotus coming to complain?
Let's look at the 918.
The most important car at the show, the most important car for Porsche since the Cayenne and the Panamera, and actually more important than the Cayenne or the Panamera. Here's why the Porsche 918 is so important. Okay? Because if you're going to develop green technology in a halo product, if you're Lamborghini, well, you just put a sticker on and a badge and used Audi's engine. But if you're Ferrari, you developed it in racing. If you're Porsche, you developed it in racing. This is not a new powertrain thrown in an old model. It's a new visual design.
Yes, and it's something that we were not expecting. I don't think anyone would have expected this concept. This is the first concept, by the way, this is the first concept Porsche has had since the Boxster in 1993.
And it's also the first Porsche as it's forward-thinking in terms of design language. That's a sports car. The Cayman, the Boxster, these are secondary models for them. That's why they are underpowered for their chassis. The 918 is a whole new model, and it could be more expensive than the 911 and justify it. It's a really sexy car. But more importantly, it shows the confluence of green technologies in one package, as opposed to one technology applied to an existing powertrain.
Okay, well, what is this? Do you honestly think that we could see this technology 2 years down the road and actually be affordable?
It comes at the perfect time for Porsche, for VW, and for Audi. Why?
Okay.
What's the most important green car ever?
Right.
The first one.
All right, everyone's going to, I guess I have to say it, Prius. You're going to set me up.
It's not the Prius, it's a Lexus RX.
Of course you're going to
Why? Toyota wanted to market ugly, small cars that were green and aerodynamically slick to people who would never buy a car as ugly as a Prius.
Well, it was also a gimmick. Oh, coefficient of friction.
So they put green technology in the RX, which is bought by tons of people who wouldn't want a car as ugly as a Prius, who then are converted to green technology. Next thing you know, George Clooney's buying a Prius.
Good point.
It's an ugly car, but it is what it is. If you want to see a really cool old green aerodynamic design, Citroen in the 60s, the DS, the CX, that's another story. Okay. Now, even if Toyota hadn't completely, I was going to say, blanked the bed last week with their disastrous handling of their problems, who's been the most successful large manufacturer to develop green tech in racing and move it down the line?
It's Audi.
It's Audi.
It's Audi.
TDI technology 10 years ago winning races at Le Mans. Now TDI is available in the entire lineup. If you're Ferrari, where's Ferrari going to trickle down to?
Fiat.
Fiat and manufacturers that don't get sold here.
But that does not mean it's not going to help.
It's going to help.
And with
if you're buying a Ferrari, you don't really care.
Okay, it may trickle down to Chrysler, but that's 7 years away.
Would you rather have an e-tron or a 918?
A 918, of course.
Fans, would you rather have an e-tron or a 918?
They're gonna say none.
Who owns Porsche?
Volkswagen.
The e-tron was just basically completely knocked out of the way by the 918. And I bet you in 10 years, maybe 7 years, every car Audi and VW makes will have a hybrid TDI
I just
powertrain.
realized something.
What?
This could be the downfall of Volkswagen.
Why?
They're now overlapping models. What happened to the Blue Sport concept?
Well,
That thing, the TDI Blue Sport concept, that thing was cool.
that was a cool car. Well, wait, they started overlapping when they came out with the Phaeton, which
And the A8.
in the A8.
There's going to be a lot of friction here with all these cool cars. Who gets the cool stuff? This is
They should not offer four-wheel drive in any Volkswagen ever.
just keep it to Audi.
Yeah.
Audi offers no front-wheel drive.
Audi probably shouldn't offer any front-wheel drive. But that's another story.
That's
the
true.
bottom line is all these other cars, the Lotus, but none of them really matter. The 918 matters, and the Ferrari kind of matters. But did Toyota ever win a race with any technology?
In F1, no. But that's just Formula One.
Toyota, the biggest manufacturer in the
world. They won
world.
some rallies, but then, of course, as Leo said in last week's shakedown, they always had issues with cheating.
What's
So-
Toyota's biggest mistake of the last 10 years?
Depending too much on how big they are, and they're $50 billion in liquid cash.
Pulling out of racing.
No, they had to pull out of racing because they threw as much money as they could at Formula One, and it did them no good.
Should have gone into endurance racing.
Okay.
They should have done what Audi did
Yeah.
2 years before.
Le Mans prototype?
Yeah. When Audi started getting into TDI, 3, 4, 5 years ago, forget Formula One, Toyota should have thrown everything into hybrid technology.
But what about the LFA? That's
Okay,
I understand
the
that.
LFA, that's the biggest mistake in Toyota's history. Wait, do you not? Can anyone watching this honestly say that your dream car is an LFA? If anyone says their dream car is an LFA, then I don't know. I know nothing about driving. The LFA was the last car on your dream car list before it came out, and the fact that it's not green is a bigger mistake than the PR disasters. Look, we got to wrap this up.
You're right. Okay, so tomorrow we've got Leo Parente with Shakedown, and we're going to leave it at that.
And
we're running out of time. But unless you have a last quote, which Ian will
ask Leo, biggest mistake Toyota made.
I don't want to quote Leo at all about Toyota.
If anybody wants an LFA, please private message me on Facebook. I'd like to meet you.
That's just your ploy to get more Facebook.
In Xbox Online.
That's just your ploy to
I'll see you next week.